Hello, everyone. This is the fifth horseman of the apocalypse. Grover Cleveland here, with a message for the unrepentant. You can follow Ryan O'Connor at Wrangleshank on Instagram and Twitter. The link is in the description. Ask not for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee.
It's time for Ink the Book Show with your host, Ryan O'Connor. And now, let's ink the book.
Howdy do, all you ding-dang fools. It's me, Ryan O'Connor, here to do another page of my first graphic novel, Bonehead. We're doing page 130 today, which is, I know it's more pages than that. I don't know exactly what it is, but we're ready to draw. Let's see. What do I have for you today? I can show you what I'm drawing in my sketchbook. It's not going to be done today. I don't know when it'll be done, but here it's a mouse guy being squeezed up by a snake. Pretty cool, sis. Okay, walk that out of the way. This page I barely started yesterday after I finished the last page. So if you don't know, my book is called Bonehead. Here, I'll show you the cover. Here's the cover with our bad guys, Miss Denton Crux and Mr. Shivers. And here's our protagonist, Bonehead, carrying the elixir of life. Ooh. So, yeah. So I'm every day, just about every day, as close to every day as I can possibly manage. I ink a page right here on YouTube, on Twitch, and yeah. Otherwise, I'm always drawing in my sketchbook and posting stuff to Instagram and Twitter. I try to keep that as daily as possible as well. But it's all in the margins of my life, so it's I can't always keep up with it 100%. What else was I going to say? Oh, today, just a little while ago, I reformatted my thumbnails that I do for these videos, so it should fit perfectly now. At least on YouTube. We'll see about Twitch, because I have to do the Twitch ones after the fact. So we'll see. Hopefully it's the same across the board. That'd be dumb to have to format it, export it two different ways. But anyway, let's get to the page, or I'm going to snap. Okay. I'm going to flip this around so it's a little tighter. There we go. It always comes loose on me. Get a little light on the situation. So we did the first panel. Barely started the second panel. Oh, look. Pardon me. We've got our great Smoky Mountains mug. I love mugs. I'm a big mug guy, and I love the Smoky Mountains.
I've been to Tennessee twice in the past 5 years, and I love Tennessee, man. I love the Smoky Mountains. A bear got into my brother's car when we were in the cabin one day. My sister tried to get me to eat cheese-flavored crickets in my sleep, which I bought for her to eat because, oh, whoops, I forgot I bought her. So there was this shop, right? This like candy shop that we went to one day, and in the candy shop at the checkout, I see there's a box of like edible. It's not like edible crickets; it's dead crickets with like cheese dust on them. And then there were like sour cream and onion ones and barbecue flavored ones. And I'm like, yikes! Who would eat? Who wants to eat dead crickets? And my sister, thinking she's a big shot, she goes, "I would eat cricket. I would eat a cricket. I don't care." I was like, "Oh yeah, you're about to put your money where your mouth is." And I bought the box of crickets, and I was like, "You can even pick the flavor," and she picked the cheese ones. And that night, I was like, "Okay, time to pay the piper. I bought them for you. You're eating them. You're eating one of these dang crickets." And she chickened out. And then, because I was giving her such a hard time, after I fell asleep, apparently she was like trying to stick them in my mouth. I don't know to what capacity she was successful, but it sounds like she wasn't all that successful. But yeah, that was fun. Bear got into my brother's car one night. So we're in this cabin. We're all playing games. It's like my whole huge family, right? And then one of my brother's friends, and it was like the first trip we'd been on with my oldest two nephews. And they were like a year old. I don't know if they were a year old, but they were crawling around and like lifting themselves up on tables, like pulling themselves up on tables and stuff. They were that age, and we're all in this cool cabin, and we're playing like board games or something, parlor games, and we look out the window at one point, and we just see like little baby bears crawling all over my brother Jimmy's van, and we realized like, oh, he left the wind. Oh no, I don't think we even realized it, but they were crawling all over his van, and he was he realized his window was open, so he had to wait for an opportune moment, and this was like in the darkness in the mountains of Tennessee. He was waiting for an opportune moment, like to go out there and roll his window up, and it was like two baby bears crawling all over his car, and so after a while they kind of wandered away, and he like really stealthily sneaked out over there, and then started his car, rolled up the window, and then like sprinted back. And then the next morning, Do you know what he found? He goes into the car to like we're gonna start going somewhere. He opens the door. Didn't expect this. There on the driver's seat was not a baby bear paw print, but a big old boom muddy mama bear paw print right there on the driver's seat. And then in the back seat was like a Tupperware container full of granola. It was like splayed all over the back of the seat. But it goes to illustrate that something my dad was saying when we were out there. He's like, if you see baby bears around, be careful, because that means somewhere nearby there's a mama bear around, and you don't want to be on the wrong side of that mama bear. You certainly don't want to mess with the baby bears. I love Tennessee. There we did a lot of hiking. Hung out in this cool cabin a lot. There were like 4 stories to it and like 5 bedrooms. I mean, we needed a big place because there were so many of us. I think it was like 14 of us or something and 2 babies. Let's see, it's 9 of us, me and my brothers and sisters and my parents. We had Allie, Katrina, Tavion. So that's, what did I say, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is Francisco there? I don't know. There were a lot of us. But, so we had this huge cabin. In the basement of this cabin, it was like a recreation. It was like a big recreation room. So they had like basketball hoops and a little rock wall to climb, and this was all ours. It was just like a little, like our cabin, you know. So we had a lot of fun in there, and then there was I think a trampoline on the deck of that bottom floor, and it had all kinds of stuff. It was all decked out. It was pretty cool. We did a lot of hiking. I forget what else we did in Tennessee. I just know it was one of my favorite trips. Just being in the mountains. I love the mountains. We went to the Poconos, I think, the year before or after. I think it was the year before. Yeah. I don't think this is the design on these guys' costumes. Let me take a look. I think I do a triangle neck thing. I gotta look earlier in the book. I've got the pages. Oh, I've got the pages in this folder back here. Let me take a look. I had a boss who said that all the time. Take a look. Take a look. Yes. Okay. I'm glad I thought of that. Everything else is the same. Let me see. Let me take a look. inconsistent with these shoulder things, but they have these shoulder marks too sometimes. I'll have to remember that. I'll go back and touch that page. I was talking about Tennessee. The other time I went to Tennessee, me and my dad took a day trip out there to meet up with my aunt and uncle. Well, two of my uncles and my aunt. And we went and saw the B-52s. We stayed in this really nice hotel. Like palm trees everywhere. I forget what it's called. But we stayed in this beautiful hotel. It was like the fanciest hotel I've ever stayed at. And saw the B-52s. And that just cost like $100 just to be there for that night and see that show. It cost me $100. That was awesome. And the B-52s were awesome. I've always said about the B-52s, like, dude, say what you want about the B-52s, but they are having the most fun of any band I've ever heard. They are just having fun making that music, playing that music. If you want my recommendation for B-52's music, you check out, what is the album called? It's called, I can't think of it. It's their second album. So everyone goes to the one with Rock Lobster on it, I think. The self-titled album. I think that one's just called the B-52's Cosmic Thing. That is, I love every square inch of that album. And that is one of my favorite songs, Cosmic Thing. But I also really like Channel Z. I am living on Channel Z. Get nothing but static started. Oh, it's also got Roam on it. Roam if you want to. Roam around the world. It's got Love Shack. It's good. It's good. So today I reported a Facebook account that was posing to be my uncle. So I am connected with my uncle on Facebook already. But earlier this week, I got a friend request from him. I was like, oh, maybe something happened to his account. And then it was like 2 days later, I got another friend request from him. I was like, okay, maybe he's having some issues. I doubt it, but I'll bite. And I didn't think anything of it, but then I got like a message. No, I saw that I'd gotten some messages from. He sends messages occasionally, like sends me clips and stuff. And I saw he'd sent some messages through the, what do you call it, Messenger. And so I went to see what it was, and there were two, and they both said message unavailable. Okay. Then I had gotten like a couple other messages. Oh no, from the second. It was like a third. So I had like a third chat from the same uncle, like all in a row. And like, so the first one was like, no, like I know it was him. It was stuff that he would send. The second one, 2 messages that were unavailable. This third one, suddenly it was like, "How are you?" out of the blue. And then later on, it was like, hope you're staying safe. And I was like, that sounds suspicious. So I was starting to ask my family, like, has anyone else seen anything like this? Because I was trying to like click on his name or whatever to see if it took me to his normal profile. But I guess I don't know how to do that from Messenger, get to the regular Facebook profile, because they're 2 separate apps for some stinking reason. But then I went and checked my Facebook friends, and sure enough, I had 2 of my uncle in there. And I went to the one, and he was still currently posting on that one, I could see. And that one was the normal one. And then I went to the other one, and that one had no content. It just had like his profile picture uploaded and a background picture uploaded, also taken from his regular account. It was just like his regular profile picture and his regular background picture, and they were both on this account, but that's all this account had, and his name. So, and then I saw that they had 5 friends, or 6 friends, me and 5 people I didn't know. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna report this. And I was thinking I should have taken a screenshot of the friends that it had, so he could like let the people know that it wasn't him, in case they were actually engaging with the fake one. But it's gone. I've never like reported anything before. Let's see. I was trying to get. So recently I finished the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis here. Really good book. I like it. I like it a lot. It really makes me think about myself. But at the end of the book, he wrote a little follow-up sometime later called Screw Tape Proposes a Toast. Let's see. And I started reading that. I got to finish that. It's only a few pages, but I never seem to be able to make the time. But I'm going to try and get some reading in every day. I haven't yet. I thought I was going to make some time, and then it didn't happen. I got interrupted. Then I'm going to either restart or just plain old finish reading John Swartzwelder's first book. I'll show you this. I was talking about it a little bit yesterday. The Time Machine Did It by John Swartzwelder, writer of 59 episodes of The Simpsons. I have a couple books by him. He's got, I think, at least 11 or 12 of these out. And most of them are, they center around this detective, Frank Burley, and they are just so fun. Oh yeah, I put my bookmark back at chapter 1, so let's see. Let me just read a little bit of it. And I've read this before on this channel, but it was a long time ago. Frank Burley is my name. Okay, it's not my name. I lied about that. My name is Edward R. Torgeson Jr. I changed it for the business. You gotta have a tough-sounding name if you want to, if you want people to hire you as a private detective out of a phone book. I chose one that would give prospective clients the idea that I was a burly kind of man, the kind of man who would have the strength and endurance to solve their cases for them, and who would be frank with them at all times, hence the name. As my exciting story opens, I am being punched in the stomach, but I guess a lot of stories start that way. Most of mine do anyway. The guy who was punching me was a lot burlier than I was, so it hurt plenty. But I tried to pretend it didn't bother me at all, that I actually liked it. It was hard to do this convincingly because he had kind of knocked the wind out of me there. So all I could do was smile and wink and give the thumbs up while I waited to be able to breathe again. He thought I was making fun of him and started punching me in the stomach harder. Meanwhile, I'm not any closer to getting my breath back. Some days are like that. So I'll leave it at that. But you can read like previews of all the books on Amazon. At least you used to be able to. And when I first found out about this book, I read the previews of all of them. And I was just doubled over in laughter. It was so good. So I encourage people to check that out too. If you don't like what I like, you have bad taste. Bad taste? Nah. Bad you. That's something they would do in these videos called Jake and Amir on College Humor back in the day. Jake and Amir are making new videos now. Not for College Humor, but they finally got the rights to their names back. They got the rights back to call themselves Jake and Amir. They have a podcast out called Amir and Jake. I don't listen to it much. I've kind of fallen away from them, but they were. I discovered them a long time ago, from College Humor, and back in those days, I just was. I loved Jake and Amir, and there was another series that College Humor did called Hardly Working, and I loved those. They were just like shorts, like 5-minute clips, and they would post a couple times a week, and they were just my favorite. There was a College Humor show on TV for a little while, I guess. I think there were 6 episodes, and that was really good. I liked all those characters. I think they still do maybe Hardly Working, but it's different members and stuff, and like all my favorite guys are gone. Most of them. Everybody went on to like do SNL or whatever. I know Sarah went on to become a writer for SNL. I believe she's writing for SNL right now. Sarah, I forget her last name. Pat Castles is still in those videos all the time. So he's still there. And there's Jake and Amir. Sam. What was Sam's last name? Right? There was I think he was the owner of not Sam, but Ricky Van Veen. I think he was the guy who was the owner of College Humor then. Hey, Vucky. How you doing? Sam's Undertale. What's that? Never heard of it. How did I start talking about? Oh, because I said, what I say, bad. Bad habits? Nah, bad you. I don't know what I said. I'm doing good. Like this. I feel good. Do 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 do. I knew that I would. So good. So good. I got you. Sam's Undertale is a plush toy owned by some shitposting teacher on Tumblr. Oh. Wait, let me see. That sounds familiar now. Sam's Undertale. Oh, yeah. I've seen that guy. It's a plush? I've never seen a plush of it before. I've seen it like all over the internet though. Like I thought it was a comic or something. It also, when I saw it, I thought it was a ripoff of because I first saw it 3 or 4 years ago, and I thought it was a ripoff of Casey Green's. There's this guy who does webcomics called Casey Green, he did a comic called The Gravedigger? What was it? Oh, it was called Graveyard Quest. And the guy in that looked a lot like this Undertale guy. Let me see. So let's pull up the Graveyard Quest guy. right? We've all seen this sucker. And then Casey Green, Graveyard Quest. These are all goofy pictures, so I gotta find the one that looks normal. He's like another squat, skull-headed guy. But it's so cartoony. All these panels I'm seeing are just kind of like not. I forget the main character's name, if he even had a name. I don't know. But I like Casey Green. What are some fuck you welcome signs? I don't know what that means. Looking. Do protagonists even need names? I'd say not necessarily. Like, the first thing that comes to mind is that. Have you seen Kid Cosmic on Netflix? The last episodes just got posted, but I haven't watched them yet. It's by Craig McCracken, the guy that did the Powerpuff Girls and Wander Over Yonder, which I never really saw, and Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. But the main character in that is this Kid Cosmic, and his name is just Kid. Like, everyone just calls him Kid. I don't know if that's like his literal name or if they just call him Kid. But it's a good show. At least season 1 was really good. I really liked season 1. I was really impressed with that. Season 2 was kind of like, I don't know. It was a little more, I don't know. It was all right. Let's see. Your sister gets here Thursday. Gotcha. And you're thinking of bringing a sign. Right now, it's either going to be, did you bring the weed or go back? You could, you know how like the chauffeurs that wait at the airport for the person, like that kind of thing. You put like just big dumb idiot, or I'm waiting for stupid. I don't know. That's funny. I mean, that works. Oh, if you can't just put Big Dumb Idiot on there, right? Because then you're just holding up a sign that says Big Dumb Idiot. And people are like, oh, at least he's self-aware. So yeah, you probably want to put like waiting for Big Dumb Idiot. That'd be funny if you were just holding up a sign that says Big Dumb Idiot, and then like a mother and her child are walking by, and they're like, "Give it to him, honey," and she like slips you like the kid slips you like $5. Stupid babies need the most attention. Simpsons. So this. Oh yeah, aren't they? No, I'm not going to color in these costumes, which are going to be blackish. Not like that show, but like the color. They're not going to be a television program on Fox. They're going to be something different than that. But I'll probably color it like a dark gray with blue highlights. So, because I don't want to paint it black because of these shadows that are laying on top. I see his costume and I want to paint it black. Oh, maybe it is ABC. I don't know. I never saw it. Gray. I used to watch every dang show. I pretty much just stick with what I know now. Yeah, I used to be up on like every sitcom until like 4 years ago. Yeah. Dude, I'm dying. I'm as good as dead. Got 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot in the dentures aisle. Is there a dentures aisle at the grocery store? At the supermarket? Tell me, sir, do you know where your war bonds are?
I'm looking for a Matlock VHS.
Well, you've come to the right place, sir. The Old People's Store. I feel like there's a market for that. So yesterday I was talking about those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ultimates, Super 7 figures, where they're like slowly releasing waves of like these classic TMNT figures from the late 80s, early 90s. You know, all these toys I had when I was a kid, but they're releasing them like almost twice the size that they used to be, and they come with all the accessories, and they just have deluxe paint jobs, and they look really cool. And some of them have like alternate heads or hands and stuff like that that you can swap out, and they are just so cool. Like, I'm not a guy who collects stuff like that necessarily, but I might have to get my hands on one of those at some point. But I was telling this buddy of mine who's a couple years older than me about him last night, and he was getting all nostalgic and excited about him too. Some of the collector tier toys are truly something special. Yeah, I'm so glad they're doing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. You know what I was thinking? I would go insane if they released some did something cool for like Battle Trolls or the Toxic Crusader Playmates toys. Oh, I would go nuts. Battle Trolls. I loved Battle Trolls. Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Battle Trolls, and Toxic Crusaders were my biggest thing when I was a little boy. Let's see something real quick. Yeah, Battle Trolls are pretty dang cool. Let me Toxic Crusaders. I think I've seen some like, yeah, there's some like crappy, weird versions of those out now. Oh, Toxic Crusader Ultimates. I think that's a thing too now. I see some weird Toxie Man, but I see it says Ultimates like the Ninja Turtle ones. That one was off color, so I don't know what the deal was, but I'll look into that someday, I'm sure. Probably later today. It's like, I would be so tempted to buy this stuff, but it's like, okay, then I get it, and then what? It's like, what are you gonna play with them, Ryan? Is that the idea? Are you gonna set them on a shelf and get dusty for the rest of your life? Battle Trolls is owned by Hasbro. They might come back via Pulse. What's Pulse? I still have Cyclops Troll displayed in my house, like on a shelf downstairs. And I have my I was talking yesterday about how I still have Rocksteady from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My Rocksteady from like 1990, probably 1991. I still have him on a shelf downstairs, and also my Muckman from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles down there. I'll show them off sometime, maybe tomorrow. For the longest time, I had Count Trollula from Battle Trolls. I had him in my room for years and years. And I don't think I've seen him since I moved into this place 6 years ago. So it's probably in my... And that was the first one I got. Of the Battle Trolls. So that's probably in a box in my basement somewhere. You say Hasbro Pulse is something something. Is there a collector division? Okay. That'd be cool. I'd like to see something with those. It's like those three properties, Toxic Crusaders, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Battle Trolls, along with Ren and Stimpy, were the first things in my life that sparked my imagination. I'd say after that, the next big thing was Goosebumps books. And my stomach's growling. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Hopefully I can finish this in an hour. I can cook myself something and then scram out of here. Let's see. So you knew about that pulse thing right away. Is there something that you're particularly into, Vucky, like that? Any collector's items or anything that you're always looking for, or think, or that you fondly think of or collect even? Is on Prime Video. I have Prime. Yeah, there was a TV show. There was a cartoon that I only saw like once or twice as a kid. Weirdly, I didn't watch a whole lot of TV at the age I was when I was getting those. I mean, I watched like a lot of movies, like Batman and whatever Disney movies we had around the house over and over. And once Power Rangers was a thing, I started watching that a lot. But yeah, I haven't seen too much of that show. I've seen a bit of it, and like I know I saw the first episode, and my dad had rented the Toxic Avenger movie by Troma, which is the where that all comes from. But that movie was not made for kids. I don't remember it too well, but I'm pretty certain there's a monster sex scene with the Toxie man guy in that. Kind of best I don't look at the catalog or I'd go broke very quickly. And it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like what I was just talking about. I'm pretty sure it's like goofy, but it was like, I shouldn't be watching this when I was a kid. I do have a cool Toxic Avenger shirt with the live action Toxie man on it that my buddy Matt got me. My roommate's brother. I think he got me that for Christmas one year. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I'd want to get like one of those TMNT Ultimate figures, but it's like, oh man, I'd have to decide. It's like I don't want to collect them all, you know what I mean? And but I would want to collect them all. They're like $55 a pop. Yeah, I'm so nostalgic for mostly for the stuff that I like that stuff that I liked in the at the very top of the 90s. What else was there? I had a Bucky O'Hare figure. I had Bucky O'Hare, who's this like green space rabbit. And I was always looking, because we would always save the backs of the packages. And there were all these cool characters on that, but we never got any more Bucky O'Hare characters. That's for the 12-inch, right? 12. They're 7 inches compared to the original 4-inch ones. Though I was seeing them lined up and stuff. I was seeing pictures of like the sets, and the turtle ones are smaller than some of the bad guy ones. Like some of the bad guy ones are much bigger than the turtles. So I wonder if some of the bad guys are even bigger than 7 inches. Let's see. Ooh, remember Stretch Armstrong? That guy, like you'd put him to his limits, right? And then you'd stretch him as far as you could, and then he'd rip. And then there's all this like glue in his arms. There's like this yellow like sap he was filled with. Is there any way you can convince another artist to do something with their work? How do you mean? Like, man, I'm trying to get other artists to like come on here and work with me every day or something, like, or not even every day, just whenever they can. Half the show is like about me trying to convince my artist friends to get back into it. Ew, sap. I've tried shaming them. I've tried punching them. No, they won't even come on here and talk to me. Oops. Like, what are you thinking of, though? Like, what, like you're trying to, you're trying to convince somebody to do something with their work, or you're saying I should get somebody else to start a YouTube channel. Here's this arm. Here's this arm. Hand. See, I thought I'd convince all my friends that, like, see, it's no big deal. Even a dummy like me can turn a camera on and, like, I barely know how to talk. Especially before I started doing this every day. And, it's like, see, if an idiot like me can start doing a show, a live show every day, anybody can do that. The camera's not so scary. And also, make your dang project. Make that project you said you were going to make like 15 years ago. 15 years ago. He's a really great artist, less than stellar streamer, and about as motivated as a dead possum. Yeah, man. I didn't spend hours rambling to yourself before I came. I was doing it, but I wasn't, like, when I started, you know what I did? Before I even started streaming to YouTube, I actually practiced for a long time. I would draw in my sketchbook, and I would do like those daily drawings that I was posting on that I post on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. Like, I would do these drawings, and while I was doing them, or maybe it was while I was penciling these comic pages, I forget. I think it was while I was penciling the pages. I would like record on my phone just my voice talking. So I have like, and then I would like email them to myself or something just to save them. So somewhere there's a bunch of recordings of me just rambling with no visual reference to what I'm talking about. But yeah, and I would just practice talking, and because I would always find it hard to like generate conversation out of nothing. And also I get kind of like lost for words a lot. I still do, but not like I used to. So this is, in more ways than one, this has been kind of an experiment in self-improvement. But I think it's, I don't know if becoming a better speaker will just happen the more you do it. I think you got to like kind of go in with the intention of getting better at doing it a little bit. I don't know, though. You gotta be like striving to like make yourself talk. You know what I mean? And some days now, I'm still kind of rough about finding stuff to talk about. And sometimes I'm just like, well, I talked about this 3 other times this week, but I guess I'm talking about this same thing again. It's like when I'm on here every day, it's like I've still got the same stuff on my mind as yesterday, for the most part. So his head goes in front of his hat. He's just holding him up. By his skull. Oh, you haven't had any life-altering experiences in the past 48 hours? For shame. It's rough finding adventure when like 90% of my free time is spent at this desk. So come on, man, flip a chair. There's one right underneath you. I should just lie. I ate a beehive today. I killed the Duchess of Wales. Don't tell anybody. I had my blood replaced with brake fluid. Did I say blood or blood? What would you do with truly absolute power? I would give it back. That's too much responsibility. I don't know. That's so open-ended, I don't know where to begin. And I really don't think I would trust myself with any absolute power. I'd be kind of like if I was offered absolute power of all time, space, reality, I actually might relinquish it because I was just that idea kind of scares me. I don't trust myself to do good. But then I command good. What is good? But I don't trust myself with that. That sounds freaky to me. What would you do? You're going to have a better answer. You're going to have a more entertaining answer. You're a better... If replacing your blood with brake fluid is the easiest... Oh, yeah. Replacing your blood with brake fluid is the easiest way to stop your organs. You're a better man than me. I'm okay. That's why I can't have absolute power. I'm not a better. I'm. I wouldn't trust most men, but I know I wouldn't trust myself either. With absolute power. Let's see. If I could just make some whimsical change to reality, what would I do? How about that? What would I do? What would I do? Destroying the universe in a single thought doesn't mean much when you can rethink it into existence. I like that. That kind of reminds me of a story I was working on before I started this one. A little bit. I would... I don't want to say that. That's also not entertaining. Why can't I be whimsical? I would turn all the bullets into flowers. No. Lame. I would probably just invent new stupid animals. I think that would be nice to do. Yeah, I think that would have to be. I would just invent creatures. That's my answer. That's the correct answer. If I had absolute power, I would invent creatures. It'd be like what I do now, but like a whole nother dimension of creation. That'd be so cool. Like all those weird, goofy animals in my sketchbooks, those things would be real. The giraffe dashing, or is that how you pronounce that? Dashing? Coming soon. Like, I think I have one in this. Oops, all my sketch paper fell out. Oh no, it's in the last one. That's a nice dinosaur wearing a cowboy hat. Where's my last sketchbook? It is right here. That guy. You'd see this guy crawling around. Or maybe this thing. Or, I don't know. This thing? Wouldn't that make you happy? A ruler would be nice for size comparison. Oh, yeah. Well, I imagine that first one that I showed, that big green furry anteater thing, I don't know what it is. I imagine that would be huge. What was the next thing? Now I gotta look again. That's not the one. This thing's huge. This is like bigger than people. This one is about as big as a person standing upright. Also about as big as a regular person. If I had to put a size on them. That first one's like bigger than 2 people. Not a Time Lord not a Time Lord tyrant. I guess not. Is that what you would do, Bucky? You'd like go totally corrupt with power and just like you'd kill Hitler, but then you'd become Hitler in a lot of ways. And you said you wouldn't go to the prom with me. And you. And you. This ink's still a little wet under my hand, so I have to be careful. But was I? Was I careful? Also, I wasn't drawing on screen. There's definitely nothing living in his head. In Boneheads? He pulls out the elixir of life from his head. Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about. But no, there's nothing living in his head. Yet. or I don't know. I don't know if there's ever anything living in his head. I think we see the inside of his head at one point, and I don't think there's even a brain in there. Just like post-it notes and paper clips. Okay. He's like, I need to speak to the king. I've got this. He reaches into his head. He pulls it out. Ta-da! Because they walk up to these guards, and the guards are like, hey, you can't come in here. Yeah, who do you think you are? It's like, but it's important. For the briefest second, I thought, why not have a flesh-eating beetle live in there to act as a conscience, and for gross ups. But then I realized he's not a skeleton. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I guess I would call him a skeleton, but he's just not a dead guy. Per se. I kind of like the idea, though, that Necropolis, where Bonehead lives, is probably some kind of underworld type world. It's like underworld adjacent. I think that is how I would explain the nature of these characters. Their world is underworld adjacent. It's 9 to 8. I think I can finish this page pretty soon. Shortly after 8, maybe. Then I can cook something. I made some, like, lemon chicken spaghetti stuff from HelloFresh last night. But because I had to leave, I had to cook it, eat it, clean up, all within like half an hour. It's 9:04 on your phone. It is... Oh, really? On my phone, it's 7:52. That's weird. On my computer, it's 7:47, which I'm pretty sure is wrong. I feel like my phone is generally right. Let me see. Let me go to the internet. Isn't there a thing on the internet like, what time is it? 7:53 it says. And that's what my phone says. Your phone turned 7 this year. That's probably about how long I had my last phone. Here, I'm going to do this arc again. I was like one of the last people I knew to get a smartphone. And let's see, my last phone, it was like, I went from having the oldest phone. My phone before that was an iPhone, but it was like, by the time I got rid of it, it was like the oldest phone around. And then I went from having the oldest iPhone to the newest iPhone. And then I like ran that into the ground. I ended up breaking it like 3 times, and I was like, okay, it's getting like I've fixed this phone enough times where I might as well just get a new phone. And so now I got the same one as I had last time, which is the iPhone 7. Or maybe this one's an 8. I think I swapped it out with a different one. How much is an unproduced idea worth? I think that depends on the idea. And I don't even know. Like I have a bunch of other comics or cartoon characters that I want to work with. To me, those are worth a lot. Like I wouldn't want to just hand them over to anybody or like sell the rights to them or anything. Like I would want to do something with them myself. To me, they're kind of priceless. But then I don't know that I've got quite the right story for most of them. So maybe they're useless characters. I don't exactly know yet. But I think that's one of those beauties in the eye of the beholder type thing. Damn it. I mean, you can always like pitch ideas to studios or networks or whatever, and see what they think it's worth. But even when you like, you know, I don't know if it was Always Sunny. I heard someone talking about how like they pitched, like Stranger Things. They pitched it to some network, and then the network was like, "No, we're not interested in that." And then they were like pitching. I think they pitched it to like FX. They pitched it to this. They pitched it to that. And they finally pitched to Netflix, and Netflix was like, "Yeah, give it to us." And then it's like one of the biggest things on Netflix, you know. So like as far as whoever passed on it, like I think FX was one of them that passed on Stranger Things before Stranger Things was Stranger Things. You know, they didn't seem to think it was worth very much at all, apparently. And Netflix saw value in it. So I guess it depends on who you ask. But that's part of the reason I want it. Like if I pitch this book to like comic publishers, like I'm gonna have a finished product to pitch, you know what I mean? Because rather than just pitching an idea, like, you know, if I just tried to pitch what this story was, I don't know if anyone would, if I could really get anybody's attention with it. But if you throw a finished document, like if I ink this, color it, letter it, and go to Kinko's and have a mock-up printed out, and I hand that to somebody, say, let me know what you think. It's about this bucktooth skeleton guy that works at a poison factory, and he steals a top secret project from his boss so they won't shut down the factory, and he can still have a job in the morning. But the top secret project that he steals launches him into this cosmic trouble. Get back to me. Take a look. You know, they might be more interested in seeing seeing what I'm talking about. And then, you know, maybe they'll have like edits or notes or suggestions or whatever to like add stuff or change stuff. But I think it's more grabby to have something like actualized to pitch more than an idea. I do have the pilot, but I feel like as much as I like that pilot, I feel like it's not my best work. It's not my best. I just felt like I could do better, I guess. Morning, Crimson. Not that it's morning here, but you're on the other side of the world, so we'll forgive you. How are you? We've got Bucky here. So Bucky and Crimson. You're okay, thanks. Me, I'm doing good. Although I'm out of tea. And I'm hungry. And I have to use the bathroom. So basically, I'm on the verge of death. I might need a pen to do that label. I have iced hot chocolate next to me. What the hell is iced hot chocolate? You put ice in hot chocolate? Isn't that a thing in the show Community where he's like a cold hot chocolate? I call it special drink. I love Community. That's one of my favorite shows, especially the first 2 seasons. It's hot chocolate powder, but I make it with cold milk, ice, and ice cream. That sounds good. I do have a bunch of hot chocolate in my house. I like having hot chocolate on hand. So I could make that. I don't have ice cream though, but I'm an adult with a wallet. I can get ice cream into this house. I have the ways and means, baby. Wait, isn't that just chocolate milk? It is. Never mind. In the wintertime, I have it hot. So we're just coming out of winter, so you must just be going into winter. No, I don't know. Do you have daylight savings time at the same time as us. We just went what did we do? Forward an hour recently. So not yet a few months before. I think you're talking about going into winter. Not yet a few months before it starts to get cold here. Yeah. Not where I am. No, they got rid of it a long time ago. Okay. I think some places in the U.S. don't do it anymore either. And I think there's talks of eliminating it altogether. I like the fall one a lot. It's like time travel. It's like you get to go back in time, which is why I watch the time tunnel episode of Pete and Pete every year, because they liken it to time travel, and it makes me happy. It does seem pretty arbitrary, though. But I would really miss the autumn one. The spring one can crawl into a pit and die tomorrow, for all I care, but you know. I love how seeing desexualization of the green M&M controversy. Is that still being talked about? I remember seeing something about that like months ago, I think. She doesn't wear the stilettos anymore. She wears like sneakers and I don't know, doesn't have big knockers or something. She was like, she used to be the Jessica Rabbit of M&Ms. Like, she'd walk by and everyone would be like pulling their tongues and their eyes would be bulging out of their heads. They'd bash their heads with a giant cartoon mallet. Like, ooga! I gotta have me that green M&M, and I don't mean for snack time. YouTube recommended a video too. Yeah, a little ridiculous. Like, we were all falling over ourselves for that green M&M, and you know what? That was wrong. In retrospect, we should have appreciated that. We should have been, we should have hired an M&M based on her merit rather than her looks, I think, is the big takeaway here. Must have a flag and letter for every variation of sexuality and gender, non-gender, but an M&M can't look sexy. They post cats in bikinis by the pool, but no sexy green M&M. Why should an M&M have merit when humans don't? Yeah, anything but male and female. If you're not in some gray area, you're not welcome here. Normies need not apply. Normies. The new normal is batshit crazy. Thank you very much. The new normal is worm people. Sorry, that made me laugh. I wonder how many people my cat would kill if you tried to make her wear a bikini. I, for one, welcome our new worm people overlords. Worm people. I just like the phrase worm people. I'll have to do something with that. Uh, 8:09. I thought I'd be about done by now. Let's see. Okay. I gotta get out a pen to do a couple things on this panel. Well, I think just that lettering. Let me do this with the pen, or with the brush. And I probably could letter that with this, but yeah, actually, I don't want to go digging for a pen. I'm just gonna risk it. Live dangerously for no good reason. You only live once, so do it to death. Oh, yeah. I think they're supposed to have these, like, cuffs or gauntlets or something on their arms, too. Let me take a look at that page. Somewhere around... Yes. Okay. So, yeah, they're supposed to... Ow, my face! Oh, and look, I didn't finish this eye. What a dingbat. Ryan O'Connor, the dumb blonde of comics. Like, you know, whatever. Like, you know, whatever. And okay. Here's that guy. Here's his spear. You say which alien you think would be scarier? An asymmetrical being with 4-dimensional capabilities or a completely normal human? It's kind of a toss-up these days. Fourth dimension is crazy. Have you ever read Flatland? Flatland is like one of the most important books I've ever read, and it's like the slightest little book you ever did see. It's one of my favorite books. And it's about a square who lives in Flatland. His name is actually A Square. And the first part of the book, it just kind of explains like how things work in Flatland. Like they only see like a straight line, and you know that something's in your way because like part of that line, a segment of that line will be like a different color. And it kind of like explains like the caste system of Flatland, and like triangles are their brain is as big as their one corner or whatever. So like triangles with like more acute triangles are like have no brain at all or whatever. I forget. Like there's like a whole section on like the natural laws and the political laws or whatever of Flatland. And then the next part of the book is like a story. I don't even remember a majority of the story, but it kind of like breaks down how like so the meat of it is that A Square meets a sphere from Cube Land, 3D Land, I don't know, from non-Flatland, whatever it is. I think Cube Land or something like that. And it's perplexed when when Square comes across something that like the line is growing and shrinking, and it's because this sphere is passing through Flatland, and it's seeing the bottom and then the middle and then the top, like as it goes through Flatland, and its interactions. It kind of like the sphere is explaining its nature to, like, it can see all of Square, but Square can only see so much of Sphere. And like it's like Sphere is this like otherworldly being that's kind of like all knowing and just kind of like looking down on Square. And it's kind of like it's kind of to get you thinking about the fourth dimension and like how the fourth dimension would translate to the third dimension and vice versa. So it's really cool. It really like blew the doors off my mind a little bit. I had to read that for a math class, and it I love it so much. It got me thinking a lot about the nature of God, and I just really I love it. I love that book so much. I like thinking about like the fourth dimension and stuff for some reason, but it's pretty cool. It doesn't. I'll say it doesn't talk about God or anything like that at all, but it's just like the nature of the material kind of like took my mind there back in 2012 when I read it. But it's pretty cool because it kind of makes you think about how what a fourth dimension would have to be. And I was hearing some scientists talk about how recently I heard some scientists, I think he kind of casually mentioned it in a conversation. I forget where I heard it or what exactly they were talking about at the time, but I heard some scientists saying, like, we know there's a fourth dimension, but more than that, we know that there have to be like at least 6 other dimensions or something like that too. I was like, that's bonkers. Like, I don't even know how to wrap my head around anything beyond a fourth dimension. I barely know how to touch a fourth dimension in my mind. But yeah, I remember like when I was a kid, I would look at the, you look at flat square turning or something like an animation of a flat square turning around or something, and then you see like a cube turning, an animation of a cube turning, and then I saw like an animation of what a 4-dimensional hypercube turning would look like, and it looks like it's like going in and out of itself. And then there was a representation of like a 5th-dimensional cube turning, and it looks even more wild. And then there's a 6th-dimensional, like, I think it was on Wikipedia that I was seeing these, but I don't know. I don't remember. And it was just like, it would just get weirder and weirder, and I would always get down rabbit holes where I was like looking into stuff like that, or like black holes, and then white holes, whatever those are, the opposite of a black hole, I guess. And then just looking up weird space stuff. And I don't remember any of it, but it's like, if you start like looking into that stuff, you can just like find out about all kinds of crazy stuff. I struggle with 3-dimensional doors. I'm sure everyone else does too. What's this? Do you watch Down the Rabbit Hole? Is there a show called Down the Rabbit Hole? I don't. But is it just stuff like that? Or is it like a scripted thing? Or like a not a sitcom, not a, what am I trying to say? Is it like a fictional scripted thing? YouTube series? Okay. I might check it out. I feel like I've heard of it. He didn't invent the phrase down the rabbit hole. No, that's, if I had to guess, somebody invented that phrase, I would guess Lewis Carroll, the Alice in Wonderland guy. But I'm not even sure he did. Hey, look! Each my papa!
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I'm about to finish this page. Ish. Getting close. What's up with you?
Not much.
Yeah, you've been couch bound for what, a week or two now?
Well, I wasn't too couch bound. I was up moving around too much, and I overdid it. And back to square one.
What's that?
But I was doing really well, and I overdid it, and now I'm back to square one. I can't move too well.
Did you hurt your knee? Crimson's asking, how's the knee going?
It's doing all right. Thanks. Going as well as can be expected. It's going to take time.
Okay. Yeah, last time I saw you was on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I'll come by. You were together.
You were saying you walked down to the neighbor's house or something?
Yeah, 2 doors down.
2 doors down.
Yeah, I was not really good at that point. But also
with a walker or without?
I had a cane, I think,
Cane.
and I went down with a cane. But I was cruising. I was carrying it a lot. I was on my own. I was doing like way too much for what I should be doing at that point. And my therapist is like egging me on. Like, oh yeah, you're doing great. You're doing good, real good. Yeah, keep going. And I overdid it, and then, boom, now I'm back to can't do much. So they say it happens to a lot of people.
Okay.
So yeah, now I'm just icing it up, and I'm trying to get ready to see the doctor on Friday, and we'll go from there. But
oh yeah, any word on when you're getting the other one done? Probably not, right?
One first. I might since I'm paying all the deductibles down, I might end up having to do it this year.
Okay. Oh, I just assumed it was going to be like within months of that one.
Oh yeah.
Crimson here says, "Keep your knees iced and lots of rest."
Yeah. Well, I'll have to get through the summer and try to make some money.
Oh yeah. How's because you own your own painting business. That
well,
like how's that supposed to be working right now?
Well, I'm still looking at jobs and setting them up, and they're going and doing them. Liam's been working his stuff.
How are you doing estimates right now? Are you because you're not driving out to them like right now, right?
Pictures, and then I
okay.
I try to go over and come to something with that. And then if there's anything extra, I'm just looking at pictures and trying to come up with them from that.
Oh, okay.
But I've got a pretty good idea how big rooms are when they tell me, and then I see them and I ask them if there's patching and stuff, and and then I just whip out a number and give it to them and hope they say yes, and then I send the guys over there and they're doing it, and they're getting them done. So
you hope they say yes after you whip it out. Is that what I'm hearing? No, I'm just kidding. So nothing. Sorry, shouldn't have said it.
Jimmy's been working with me last week and this week, but he's going to Florida on Friday.
Oh yeah, because he hasn't worked for you for a while now.
No, but I slow with the. It's been a little slow, so he's like, you got anything? Yeah, good timing. So, yeah. Cool. So I'm paying to come in and work with me, so which is nice because it's working for both of us. And yep. What you got, John? Here, let me see.
So here's Bonehead and this Billy character. They're running into this castle. Then they get stopped by these guards who are like, "Hey, what do you think you're doing? You can't go in there." Something like that. And then he's like, "Yeah, but I got this." And he reaches into his head. He pulls out this elixir of life. He's like, "It's the last remaining bit of that thing that we don't have anymore." And then they're like, "Okay, right this way," or whatever. And they run into the castle. Thanks.
So his skull is like Batman's utility belt. It's got everything.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Well, it doesn't. It has what he puts in there.
And it just so happens to be like whatever he needs.
Yeah. Well, that was the idea behind. That was part of the idea behind the character when I made him up, because I made him up as a video game character, and it was like the weapon would be like he would just pull stuff out of his head and throw it at the bad guys. He would pull out bottles like that and throw it at the bad guys.
Oh, he's making Molotov cocktails.
Well, he worked at a poison factory, so he would just collect. He would go around collecting, poison bottles. Like that's what he would pick up. Like instead of like mushrooms or coins or something, he'd be picking up, little poison bottles, flasks of poison, and then he would like pull those out and throw those at bugs and stuff, like monster bugs. That was the initial idea for what Bonehead was. It was a video game idea.
To keep running that one too.
What's that?
I keep running that idea.
I just like on notebook paper, I designed a whole first level, but then my two video game friends, I don't think they would ever make it with me. They should.
Yeah, you should talk to them. Maybe they will. But they got to get as committed to it as you are. And once you're into something, you're all in.
What's that?
I said they would need to get committed like you are, and I know how you are. Once you're all in.
Yeah, like I mean, me and Ben, we made like a really rudimentary level for his class. I did all these animations. Like I had just graduated, but I did all these animations for it, and he put it together and made it playable. I don't know if it. I was asking him recently if it still exists somewhere in some form, and he was saying he had to dig around for it, but I don't know if we'll ever find it. But we should definitely do that. The problem with video game stuff is, first of all, I don't know how to do it myself, and then second of all, yeah, like they would. Him and Zach were my video game buddies, and they would just need to dedicate a lot of time and energy to it, and it's so involved doing stuff with games. I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Yeah, they both got careers, and
yeah, and they're two of my art friends that went on to not do anything with art. They both went to art school with me, and they're doing like one's a cop and one is an electrician now.
who's a cop?
Zach.
Is he?
Yeah.
Down in
Texas.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Where's he at?
Near Austin. Austin.
Yeah, so it is him.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I got the right guy. And then I thought what was the other one? Ben? I thought he was doing electric fence electrician.
Yeah, he's like an electrician now. Though I just heard he got let go. Because he was supposed to transfer out here and come back home. Him and Jake both.
They both in Seattle still?
Yeah. They were supposed to come home soon. Like March, April, May, June, in 3 months. But I think
I remember saying something about that, but I thought it was like past tense, like they decided not to or something.
No, until like this week, I heard that Tyler was just telling me that he heard Ben got let go, and that was going to mess up their plans, so they don't think they're going to come out here at least that soon now. So that's a bummer.
Yeah, it is.
I miss my buddies.
Out.
What's that?
Who else is on with you right now?
Just me. I've got this character, Vucky, saying "random old man is random." He must be talking about some other YouTube show. And then I've got Crimson
Maybe
reminding
it's
you to keep your knees placed in lots of rest.
Who said that?
Crimson out in Australia.
Thank you, Crimson. I will.
She says the creepy vamp. She's vampiric.
Oh, I thought you were saying I was a creepy vamp. I was like, well, I was up most of the night. You're looking good.
Thank you. So, how have you been whiling away your days?
Oh God, I'm watching you color your pictures.
So it's pretty dire.
This is the good part of the day.
Yikes.
No, I just decided I'm not taking the painkillers anymore. They're making me too goofy. So this is I was like Boone walking across the floor and stuff. You know,
oh wait, what's
what not to do.
Crimson saying? I worked in an operation theater for 10 years. Used to clean all instruments used for orthopedic surgeries and others. That's why she was giving you advice earlier.
Yeah, well, everyone got advice for me now. Nobody told me, hey, you better slow down. You're going too hard and you're going too fast. And then when you do it, hey, yeah, you need to slow down. Well, yeah, you waited until I told you I couldn't talk anymore. but you know, it's one of those things that they tell you later. So,
Yeah.
Now I know. So I'm glad one at a time because I don't think I could handle two.
Oh yeah.
Although time wise it would have been better if I could do two and get through, but
yeah.
I'm so they suggested not.
Yeah. Do you think you're gonna put some like substantial space in between like the one healing and the other one, like being operated on, just because you need to get work?
I'm hoping to get back to work time in May, and then I wanted to work the summer and then get the other one done like maybe October.
Hey, I thought it was like 4 months.
No, it's not going to be that much. Hey, Paul, it's been almost 2 weeks.
What's that?
It's been 2 weeks, and they say it's usually about 8 or more.
Oh, you were saying 4 months a while ago. You were saying like I can't drive for 4 months.
No, I can't. I don't know how long it's going to drive. It's going to be 4 weeks before I can drive.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not nearly as bad.
I'm not taking that Norcos anymore.
What's that?
So I'm not taking Norcos anymore. Forget that.
Oh, okay. Oh man, one time you got me like I was feeling sick, so you got me Tylenol PM.
I sent you to school.
No, you didn't send me to school. I was like an adult, and it was nighttime, but it was like I never took anything like that before, any PM stuff. Like I wanted you to get me ibuprofen while you were out, and you're like, they didn't have ibuprofen or something, and you're like, I got you this, and it was Tylenol PM, which I'd never had before, and I took some of it, and it didn't make me
drowsy exactly, but I just felt like stoned, like terribly stoned, and like not. I just felt like groggy and terrible. I was like, I'm just gonna go to bed so I can get this feeling out of me. And then
I gave that to Kaylee one time and sent her to school, and she fell asleep in class. I did not realize that I sent. So yeah, Kaylee's never shy to call me out as a jerk. She's like, "You woke me up in school and I fell asleep." I was like, "Ah, sorry."
My bad. Well, oh, when do you want me to come over? You're telling me to come over sometime.
Tell me a day, but don't make it Friday
Don't make it Friday.
because we got to eat those steaks. So that's why you were saying Saturday. I thought you were coming last Saturday, but you didn't.
I think I did mean to, but I don't know.
You stopped by. You came in one time and you were there for like a few minutes. What?
Yeah. Well,
So,
I can try coming by tomorrow. I'll just. The thing is, this show eats up so much time sometimes, but or because I have to like prep stuff. I don't know. It's dumb. Anyway, I'll try and make it happen tomorrow. I'll come over.
all right, that works.
Yay!
I get visitors a day because it's boring. Your mom's in the other room. She comes out and like puts the
Oh, are you still
thermometer in.
sitting there?
She
Huh?
gives me the red thermometer and leaves and comes back 10 minutes later and take this
Turns up
out.
the oven. No, I'm just kidding.
She takes it out and goes,
She
"You're almost
bastes
done.
you.
You're almost done." She squirts butter on me and leaves again.
Gross. Crimson says, kinky. Yeah, leave me out of that talk, Dad. Jiminy. I know how babies are made. All right. This has been Ink the Book Show with Ryan O'Connor and Papa O'Connor.
Belfast Jones.
Belfast Jones, eh?
Belfast.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see YouTube tomorrow, too. Crimson says, heal well, Daddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy the steaks. Oh, yeah. Were you talking about steaks here? I wasn't even listening.
Steaks, yeah.
Will do.
Steaks are high.
What's that?
The steaks are high tomorrow.
For eating steaks.
All right. Checking out. Love you. Thanks.
Bye-bye.